Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back for another episode of Shady Sports Fantasy Reports. I think it's like episode 15 or something. Season 3. Looks like having some issues with stream, so just trying to remove some stuff. Either way, thanks for joining me. We got Shawnee, or we had Shawnee in the back. I'll see what happened to him. Hopefully he jumps back on. But anyway, welcome back for another episode. Sunday night, we got Sunday night reactions. Had some crazy games today. That Thursday night game was crazy, so we'll talk about that as well. Got some injuries, couple of crazy updates on injuries, and then updates all across the board. We had some standout players and some stars shine. So as we do here on Shady Sports, you know what I mean? I'm your host, Cedric Green, bus driver. And then we got the co-host, Shawnee, like I said, somewhere. Hopefully he comes back on. I don't know. He'll probably let me know where he went. Anyway, let me get into it, get this intro, and then we'll get it going, guys. Where did we go? Oh, there we go.
Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Fill the wrap or open it up.
Exactly, listen to Shawnee. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So open to that, and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Yeah, as you can see, I kind of jacked that intro that Sam had made up for our Shady Sports fantasy draft for the network league. Just like the intro, I was like, okay, it's so much smoother than mine than mine was. So I was like, let me roll with it, man. I'm gonna keep it going. And plus Dennis Cockerham. Shout out to you guys. And the Trailer Park, was it Trailer Park band? Shout out to those guys. So I mean, you can't deny, fresh music, you know what I mean? You get a chance to use that. I'll take it. Plus that thing just kind of flows. So let me know what y'all think. How do you feel about the intro? How you feeling? Like I said, we did have Shawnee. I don't know, he went somewhere, but anyway, Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports, Season 3, Episode 15. I know a lot of you guys are watching this Chicago-Houston game. Houston up right now 10-3. CJ Stroud 8-10 for 92 yards and a touchdown. Looking good. I had a couple passes. I won that was batted up in the air. It was a couple, but he's been sharp for the most part. Caleb Williams looks kind of sharp in this game too, right? I don't know if I'd have Caleb Williams started. I'd probably have CJ Stroud starting on my fantasy team. Anyway, wait, there we go. I think we got Shawnee in the back. Let me get him back in here. And then we'll get it going. Start talking about some stuff we saw today. There's some crazy news, so we'll get on that. Shawnee, my man.
There we are. Yo,
there we go.
I was operating off the just the Safari app for so long, and I guess finally it got sick of it, and they made me download the actual StreamYard app, and I had to go through the whole process of installing the app. So sorry, man. I dipped out on you guys, but I'm back. I'm here to join you. I'm here.
It's okay. Yeah, I was just talking about.
Sunday.
I was just talking about this Texans game we got going on right now. CJ Stroud over 100 yards in the second quarter. He's already looking better than most quarterbacks from today.
Well, when you got a 6'4", 220-pound receiver, Nico Collins is basically, the size of a linebacker. He can box you out. There's a lot that man can do.
Yeah.
And, when you got the talent of C.J. Stroud throwing to you, on to Diggs, 21-yarder to Diggs. The kid is just absolutely ridiculously talented. Obviously, there's a reason he was a rookie of the year last year. The amount of passing yards, passing touchdowns, it's no fluke. C.J. Stroud is the man, and he is here to stay. He's the new face of that Texans team, and even against this Chicago Bears defense, which is actually pretty amazing, the main reason they won week 1 and saved Caleb Williams. But in all actuality, I can actually say, watching this evening, Caleb Williams was 4 for 4, almost 40 yards. He was on point. He was comfortable standing into the pocket even when he almost looked in trouble. It was pretty awesome to watch him poised and confident. And if he can keep that up, this is actually going to be a really good game. I was really thinking to myself, regardless of the Bears defense, CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Stover, Joe Mixon. There's not a lot of defense can do when you have this kind of diversified offense. But, the Bears, they're holding strong. And I think that this is actually going to be a lot closer game than I thought. And I am stoked for anybody who has Stroud. And I know you got heavy interest in Diggs. You are all in on Diggs this season. He's been your boy. You've been talking about him since A1 since day one. You've been drafting him anywhere you can get him. And even if it has just been the red zone targets, when we're talking about fantasy relevance, that's what you need, man. If Nico Collins can get you down the field and Diggs is going to be your touchdown guy, there's no problem with that whatsoever. So, yeah, this is definitely an awesome game with some great implications.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this the scoring breakdown too on their players, you know what I mean? Man, they got 3 running backs with points. Fantasy relevancy. They're not, 3 running backs with points. They got 4 wide receivers with points, 2 tight ends with points. I mean, their whole team's scoring right now. Their whole team has they have more fantasy points than some, early draft picks right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
What is
it's
Ungobala? What is his name? Ungumbala Ballaway? What's the running back?
Ogumbawe, yeah.
Ungumbalwe, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like this guy has points. Let me see, he has 7 yards, off a reception,
Yeah,
but they're getting everybody involved.
Even Stover, who they usually just bring in as a fullback for Mixon, he had a heavy yard dump off. It's
Yep.
crazy when you got a big bag of weapons like this, and you got a quarterback like C.J. Stroud. Anything's possible. That's why it's very possible, that we're looking. I don't know. I think it's very possible Texans Lions this season. It's just how it looks for me. I don't know.
Oh
The
man.
Lions are off to a bit of a rough start. Amon-Ra obviously had a better day today. It's kind of been a weird day all around. One thing I wanted to talk about is obviously we got AJ Brown missing time, which it sucks because he doesn't play till tomorrow, but at least you're able to get your substitutions in. Keenan Allen is obviously missing the game here, and that's a big one, but we knew about that one. Now, Isaiah Pacheco left the Chiefs game on crutches, so
Yep.
we're going to have to find out the implications of that one. We got George Kittle, who was questionable to return. No clue what his injury is or what his status might be. And then also for Tampa Bay, you got Rashad White, who got injured
He
today.
wasn't
So
doing much anyway. But
there
Cooper
are
Cup too.
lots of injuries around the board. Obviously, CMC being one of the bigger ones. He's going on IR. They're saying week 6 if he even comes back by week 6, which is crazy. Then you got Puka, and he's in the same boat. Should be 6 to 7 weeks, maybe longer. I also saw that Cooper Kupp was questionable after the game today, which is huge. That's going to put big implications on Johnson being like the only one left in that wide receiver group. So lots of injuries, lots of implications on your fantasy roster injury wise today. Just stuff to monitor and to keep a look at. It's scary when we get to this point and people start to drop like flies, and you have to start looking because you start to look to fill those gaps on the waiver wire with the people who are standing out. But there's been fewer people standing out on the waiver wire than you would expect. It's been kind of just your usual suspects. So when they start dropping, then you start to panic a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
not
so when
panicking.
you have it like this, right? When you see like all of these high profile players, you know what I mean? Like they're not going down for the whole season, but they're going down for 2 to 6 weeks, significant time. And like you said, you're not seeing other options really stand out on the waiver wire. Unless you're like in a smaller, smaller league. Are you really then trying to pick up their reserves? Like, is that the first goal, or should you be looking at the waiver wire? What are you doing?
Well, so you
Oh, look at
obviously
Diggs.
want to look at the wire and you want to see if there's any type of gems that you can look through and dig out. Hopefully, if you are experienced enough with fantasy football, you want to have someone on your bench that is higher in ADP, someone that you could sub in. Obviously, guys on your bench want to have flex value or better. So hopefully, you have someone on your bench that you could get in there that has decent matchups coming up. But when you get in that situation, then you really have to assess your roster and ask yourself, do I have anybody on here that I could use as trade bait?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and to be talking about trades week 2 is absolutely insane. But if you are in that situation and you have a guy who's still got some value that's running high right now that could come back in, 4 to 6 weeks, with some guff, then you got to use them as best you can. So you hope for the waiver. You hope first and foremost that you got someone on your bench that you can sub. If not, then you hope for waiver priority. And if not, then you got to go to that trade situation. And hopefully you're not there yet. Some of these benches are big enough. IR is a good thing. But, if you're in a tight pinch and you're looking at the waiver, we'll put a list together for you guys of some standouts on the waiver wire in case you're hurting at wide receiver or running back after the injuries this week, and we'll put them up on the show for you later on in the week.
Mm-hmm. Yo, all right. So I want to talk about some games. You know what I mean? I got a question, man. The Saints, man. Derek Carr, Kamara, are the Saints for real? Shahid, man, that Shahid Derek Carr connection is freaking deadly when you notice you got Olave
So
on the outside.
I have Shahid in 3 leagues. Dynasty. And today I had Keenan Allen in my flex in 2 spot or in 1 spot,
Mm-hmm.
and I had Christian Kirk in another, and I said, you know what, he's not doing anything, and he's not going to. Allen didn't impress me enough anyway. So in the 3 leagues that I had Shahid, I went and put him in the flex in every single one. I fired him up today because he had 17 points in week 1. And obviously, Carr and these guys on the Saints offense, they are just going off and scoring points.
Mm-hmm.
I have Kamara in another league too, and 4 touchdowns today, 3 rushing and a receiving touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Carr is just on point. Kamara's on point. Rashid Shaheed is a beast. I love him. He's a full go. If you have him on your bench and he's a starter. He's an
Mm-hmm.
every week starter from now on. And not to mention him, I know a lot of fantasy shows don't get into IDP enough, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have Antol Taylor, Demario Davis. Who else? Oh my God. The Saints defense is just, they're firing on all cylinders too. Every single one of these guys is worth the start. It's just a
Yeah.
100% done deal. They're
Pete
playing
Warner,
both sides of the ball well, and it's awesome to see. These
Kool-Aid.
matchups aren't flukes. The
No.
Cowboys, they did a little something against them. Lamb had a decent game.
They didn't do nothing. They had 19 points. We're not going to stay here and.
Still, fantasy relevance wise, Lamb had a decent day. You pull 19 points, you're not mad at that. But I love the Saints. I'm all in on them. This is 2 weeks in a row with 40 plus, and you're doing it with the same guys, and you're doing it consistently. You're doing it away. You're doing it. It's not a fluke. This is real. If you
Yep.
have Saints on your roster that aren't fired up week to week, then you're a silly bastard. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
I love it. I'm so glad you brought that up because they have been killing it, and that's a 1 game or 1 of 2 games that I got on my Fubo today. It was I had the Raiders game and then I had that game, and
I was going to
that's the
talk about
game
the
I watched.
Raiders. I was gonna
That's
talk
a
about
game
that
I
Raiders
watched all
game.
day. The Raiders, it was good to see.
Nah, nah,
I liked when Devontae gets his because
went off.
I felt bad for him last season, and Devontae actually had a really good day. He had 26 fantasy points,
Brock Bowers
depending
too.
depending on your scoring. So Gardner Minshew is actually putting up some relevance for his guys around him. Zam White had some decent time. IDP wise, Spillane had a really good game. Diablo had a really good game. It was cool to see. It's cool to see. I don't. So I'm like, I dog the Broncos, and I do that just to give Sed here a hard time, guys. But I live in Denver. My kids are born and raised here. They are Broncos fans, and it's hard for me to cheer for anybody that's in that AFC West group
They're
besides the
all
Broncos.
crushing. They're all of them are crushing except for the Broncos. I don't even
Yeah.
want to. I don't even want to talk about it. Here, you can talk about that. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I bleed black and gold. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. Said, and I had a little bet on the game today. I knew my Steelers were going to pull it out. Fields looked a lot better today. I mean, not great, but still better. Had an actual passing touchdown, rather than just a handful or more of field goals, which was awesome to see. But that Steelers defense is just undeniable. It's unreal, awesome to watch. Even Queen got himself together
Oh
today.
man.
Bo Nix, he's rushed. He doesn't have an offensive line. There's no one
Yeah.
there to protect him. He's constantly having to make quick decisions or get out of the pocket.
He had more
Even
yards than Pat
Devontae's having
Mahomes.
trouble. It's a little hard to watch. It's rough. But yeah, the Steelers are the only 2-0 team in the AFC North right now, and the only team to actually get a victory in that division today. That their actually only other win is the Browns. It wasn't even
They
the
didn't do
Ravens
a
are 0
whole
2.
lot either, though. Steelers didn't do a whole lot today either, though. They just played a
They
bad
scored their
Broncos
first
team.
passing touchdown, and their
Their
defense
only
saved the day.
touchdown.
You're just butthurt. It's
I
okay.
am. I
I get
am.
it.
Justin
I get
Fields
it.
had 117 passing yards. Big whoop. Big whoop.
Yeah, I mean, and I even said that when you walked away. I said Fields looked a lot better, but it's still not like it. Nothing blows you away about the way that it goes down. But
Did you see that reverse pass, though, from Bo Nix?
yeah. I mean, they got a playbook. Peyton's no slouch, but
He is
it's
a
just
slouch. He is a
when
slouch. I wish we had Harbaugh over here, Pat. I wish we had a Harbaugh over here slamming down on Bo Nix's pads. Then he'd probably be
the
throwing more
way that he was
touchdowns.
for Herbert.
Yeah, yeah.
They made a big highlight out of that one, huh?
Oh man, they were playing the Panthers. I don't care. You're playing the Panthers. You better get over 20 points.
Yeah, I was, and here's another team I want to bring up that disappointed me again today. And, when it comes down to it and you get garbage time points, but I'm a guy who invested in Garrett Wilson. And when you invested in Garrett Wilson early in rounds, like a lot of people did, and today was my test day because they played the Tennessee Titans, and the Tennessee Titans are nobody who should be able to stop somebody who has a caliber of Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson's talent. And to see Garrett Wilson end his day with 10 fantasy points after having pretty much the same week with the week before, I think he had 12. That's just not the floor that or yeah, that's not the floor you want to see out of somebody that you got either in mid to late first round, maybe beginning to middle of the second round. And the way that their schedule is going forward now, Wilson always has that capability. His ceiling is crazy, and with Rodgers there, I'm not saying that he can't have, but I'll tell you right now, if I got like right now with the people that I have on my bench, like Shahid and other, that his spot's getting taken. I need guys that are going to get me 20 plus, and I'm going to put the guys that I think that can do that. And after this week of Wilson just getting another lousy 10 points, I mean, even last week, Lazard, who has a previous relationship with Rodgers, he was the lead receiver. Yeah, but they didn't even do that this week. You know, Brees Hall had a good game. I think he had like 27, 29 points, depending on your scoring. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's who they have to depend on all the time now. It's just constant check downs or just running the ball. I don't know.
Who
I'm
was
kind
his
of,
other running back? Braylon
huh?
Allen, the rookie, 20 years old. He had 20 points.
Braylon Allen, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he went off. He actually he had a great day receiving. He was the check down champ. Every time Rodgers got in trouble, he hit him on the sideline and he just cruised the sideline straight down. I think he scored too.
Damn, I dropping Drake London for him. I think I
Drake
might try.
London is one of those guys. Christian
That
Kirk
I'm
is one
seeing
of
how
those
Drake
guys.
London
Chris
does.
Olave is
I'm
one of
seeing
those guys.
does the same way, like you said, you're looking at Garrett Wilson. That's how
Yeah,
I'm looking at Drake London, and it's only this week. It's only this week. It's no further. It's just it is what it is. Like,
yeah. I got no choice, man. If I want to win
mhm,
week to week, I got to put somebody in there that can put up the points. I can't be worried about these guys like this, man. And that's just
mhm.
how it is. There's other shining stars right now, and they're on my bench or on the wire, and that's who it's going to
What,
be. You know, I got guys like Brian Robinson Jr. You
bruh?
know, and even week to week now, just getting in the teens, 14 or 17, it's beating the pants off of 5 to 10. You know what I mean? Those are those weeks where you're going to lose by 2 points and be like, oh my God, man. All I had to do was put in B Rob Jr. and I would, I'd be fine right now. So
Hmm.
instead of kicking yourself in the pants, you just got to fire these guys up. No more. What
Exactly.
I
Like
do with
Antonio Lopez over here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, Antonio Lopez. He says they say, what do I do with Jamar Chase, Kyron, and Waddle? Man, I thought Kyron Williams was gonna have 4 touchdowns today.
I,
You know, I mean,
Kyron is a guy that I have patience with. Chase, I
I'm
don't know.
selling all of them.
Chase is starting off slow. He dogged the preseason and things are a little rough. It's early to tell, but it's rough to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Waddle is one of those guys that just signed a big boy contract. But I mean, you got to look at this situation though. How well did Hill do week one? Tyreek Hill went off week one, and
Tyreek
now
Hill's
here
not
we are.
they're not quarterback proof.
Yeah, now we are week two. He only got 6 points, and Tua went back into La La Land. Now Tua has said he has no plans of retiring, but that man, if there's ever a case of, as soon as that dude gets flicked, his arms go up in the air and his fingers start to retract. If that is not a sign that your brain is telling you that you need to slow down and stop
Just sit
medical
your
attention,
ass down.
it's like, and if Hill only gets 6 points, I don't know what you're gonna. I think Waddle even outscored him this week, but so you got to look for someone on the wire. You got to have someone on your bench that's outscoring them, and you got to put them in there until they show you that they're going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Sucks because these are guys you invest early round picks in, and it sucks when it doesn't work out. But that's just what you got to do, man. You got to come up with some sort of plan of attack, or like I said, these are guys who still have a lot of value. There's people that are hurting at running back where you need a wide receiver, or somebody that's hurting a wide receiver when you have Kyron at running back. Use that to your advantage and trade bait them.
Or
That's all.
yeah, I mean, yeah, trade try to, snatch up some of those Rams receivers, you know what I mean, off the waivers or something, and then maybe try to even trade into something else where you don't have to so much, but
And
I would get rid of all these guys.
also, you got to keep in mind it's only week two. I know it is hard to be patient and you see certain things and you want to jump to conclusions, but it's only week two. There's time to make adjustments. Other people are going to show, like guys like Braylon Allen for the Jets that just had to kind of get, he could show consistency and be a guy that you can snatch. There's going to be certain guys that pop up here and there that give you these hopes and faith that can get you through to the next week or get you through this injury that you're going through. So just, another thing I want to do is tell you guys not get all revved up, have some patience, put some faith in your squad, and, ride the bench, grab a handcuff, see who you can get from the wire. And if you really don't like what you see after weeks 3 or 4, or you're really hurting that bad for injury, or you think you're getting too close to weeks 5 or 6, then you can start to make those trades or, those big decisions of dropping,
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. I feel like making rash decisions and someone coming back in old fashioned and then they're gone. You already got rid of them. You made your decision too quickly, and then you kick yourself in the ass for that. So it is only barely the end of week 2 here. Keep some faith, keep some patience, and see how things kind of shake out.
Yeah, man. Look at Nico Collins, 17 points already, halfway through the second quarter.
I need it. I need him to
You
catch
do.
me back up. And
Yeah,
then,
you need that.
And then my Monday Night Miracle again in our foosball league. So last week in our foosball league, guys, I was up against our former champ, Regan, and she had 174 points, and I had 159 points. On my roster left, I had Garrett Wilson and Jake Moody. Jake Moody came back and booted me all the way through with the bump of Wilson's 12 points. I came back to win by 3 points, had the highest score for the week, and came up number 1.
Yeah, you did.
Monday Night Miracles are a real thing. And let's get into that now, because right now we have Philadelphia as
Dirty
your Monday
Birds.
and Atlanta.
The
There
other
is a lot
birds.
of fantasy talent when it comes to Monday night here. I still have Bijan and Devontae Smith for Monday night, and I'm losing by 30 again with the fact that I got Collins playing right now, catching me up. But she
With a
has
20% chance.
133. And so with AJ Brown gone for Monday night, he's already ruled out. You can pretty much guarantee that Devontae Smith is going to be the number 1 receiver in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
It's
he
going to
goes
be
off when he's number 1.
It's going to be him and Goddard for sure. And Johan Dotson can probably get himself enough of a pass share to maybe be flex relevant. If you got some injury issues that you're worried about, Dotson will come into play now with Brown gone. And then obviously on the Atlanta side of the ball, I know that. Were you talking about Ridley before?
Man, Ridley went off today.
And then
I wasn't, but he went
who
off.
for Atlanta do we got to worry about on the receiving end?
Who? Drake London?
London. That's another
Man.
one. Is he doing okay, or is he
No,
started
he
out
had.
poorly?
I think he had like 2 points last week.
Yeah. So I think he's one of
He
those
had
guys.
3.5.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that had a slow start.
You know who went off?
Kirk Cousins does have a good ability as a quarterback with an arm that we all know and have seen before. But that Philly defense with that Zach Bond, I think his name is. I grabbed him. He's a linebacker. He scored 67 points in IDP format for Dynasty and 81 points after bonus in our foosball league. So he got gripped up real quick. So that's another great IDP grab. But Cousins is going to have a lot of pressure from that Philly D. I have a feeling that Bijan has a lot of checkdowns, and it's going to be a run-heavy script. So Bijan's going to have a really good day. But other than that, is there anybody on the Monday night game that you want to talk about, or might be a sleeper?
I feel like it's a good chance to look at D God, Dallas Goddard. Especially if you're looking at tight ends. Yeah, if you had like Kittle, maybe Kittle went down, or you just have got no points from your tight end because you got like Laporta, or like these tight ends that you drafted high for a tight end, but they just didn't get you anything so far. So you'll probably be looking at if he's available. He's and it's crazy because the other Mike has him in our league, and I think, man, he is smashing right now. Let's see, he has 176 points, and
in foosball,
and he left Kamara on the bench, so he left 44 points on the bench.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all I'm gonna
say. Winning grid, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His team is
kind
of scared of that. kind of scared of that.
Here's a crazy one to talk about, and this is a big one where I'm going to put it under the bracket of a player saying F you to all their haters. Marvin Harrison
Went
Jr.
off. That's what I wanted to touch on was that Cardinals game, man. He
Kyler
went the
McBride, Harrison Jr. The Arizona Cardinals offense ate today. They went off. They went ham. 29 points for Harrison, 36 points for Murray, 18 points for McBride. I'm not sure how Connor or the running backs fared, but
14 points for Prater too. 15 points for the Cardinals defense.
What's that?
15 points for their defense. 14 points for Prater.
Yeah. All right, Troy Jams. We got Kyron Williams or Kenneth Walker. Well,
Kenneth Walker's hurt, right?
I think right now Kenneth Walker's injured.
Yeah. Well, let me. Yeah, I think he's still out. Let me pull him up.
Did you turn music on?
Yeah. Oh, is he hurt? Yeah, he was inactive still, so he'll probably.
Yeah, he's got a hip injury. So obviously, I'm going to take Kyron because he's actually active and can help you out. And look, if with Cooper Kupp hurt and with Puka Nacua hurt, you think that Kyron's going to get extra work. So, I mean, Kyron Williams, look how he finished last season. You got to have faith in the guy. You know, it's just give it some time. It's Kyron. If Kenneth was healthy, I'd put them as the same caliber guy. But with Walker hurt, it's Williams.
And I'd probably go Walker if Walker weren't hurt.
Yeah, I'd put him around the same caliber.
Yeah.
Put him around the same caliber. It was good to see Etienne have a good day today. He got a touchdown, which was good to see. You know, some of these teams that aren't doing good, it's still nice to see some fantasy relevance out of players.
See if there's. Let me see if I get some. Hold on, I got some questions here.
Dude, is that your music?
No. These are just some beats we put in here. Sam put in here. There's something to keep it going. Keep that mood up. So, would you trade Jamar Chase for Etienne Jr.?
If I needed a running back, yeah. Absolutely.
I'd probably just take it anyway. I'm over Bengals players.
Well, I mean, they showed up today a lot better. Obviously, they were. It took a last second field goal from Harrison Butker over 50 yards for them to win the game.
Yeah.
If not, the Bengals would have won that game. But you know how they are. Kansas City always gets that last minute love. They always get, the calls. One thing I really want to touch on is Travis Kelce having zero to do with Kansas City's offensive game plan. Anybody who drafted Travis Kelce at this point, if you're like me, you're pissed. This is a guy that we draft in the first and second round because of where he's at ADP wise. If you want him, and if you take him, you take a big hit in your draft to get a guy of his caliber. And he had a big one today that got called back. Mike had to set me straight on that. But either way, it doesn't help me. I can't have a guy that I drafted in the second or third round getting me 1 point.
He had 5 yards.
Huh?
He had 5 yards.
That's pathetic as hell. I can't believe it.
Well, I mean, Pat Mahomes didn't have a whole lot himself either. He only threw for 151 yards. He didn't even get 15 points in our league. So, I mean,
Yeah, Rashee Rice has been the only thing. Him and
Pacheco,
Worthy have
Pacheco,
been the only thing.
Worthy sucked today.
Pacheco's had two 15-point plus weeks, but now he's hurt. Who knows what that's going to end up as? And I already warned everybody about Mahomes in the preseason on this one. I told everybody he wasn't fantasy relevant last season. He wasn't doing any better than 18 points a game. And now he's proven himself again, not doing any better than 15 points a game.
But you want
And
him
here
to
we
be.
are, Kelsey not getting anything. You know, Rice and Worthy and Pacheco, it was nice to see, but now it was just Rice and Pacheco, and now Pacheco's hurt. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Well,
Down with
yeah, I mean,
KC.
screw the Chiefs. I don't like them anyway. What about Jaden Daniels, man? I see promise there. He didn't get the most points, but he's been consistent.
Well, his week 1 was unreal. And now this week the defense played him a little different this week, and he tries to leave the pocket quickly. He suffered as a result. McLaurin had a little bit better of a week. Brian Robinson Jr. still doing well. Eckler less involved, but I mean, obviously that kid
Eckler had more points though, barely.
He has promise, and he's a guy that if you drafted him either as your backup or as your starter, you know he's a guy that you're lucky to have on your roster. Absolutely.
Are you talking about Jaden Daniels?
What?
Are you talking about Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Singletary though. I threw him in my other league last minute. Once I realized AJ Brown was out this morning. I don't know how I dropped the ball in that one, but I had to replace someone, so I moved Stephon Diggs, my man, up to wide receiver, and then I threw in Singletary.
Yeah,
and I felt pretty good about that.
He's a starting running back for a team that can't get it going passing wise, and he ended up having a good game on the ground. It's not, it's not out of this world to think that he can't do that weekly. He's a talented guy. He gets the volume, and they've been giving it to him in the red zone now, so touchdowns have become a thing. So, yeah, if you have Singletary, by all means, if you're in need of filling in a roster spot or feel like putting him in the flex, he's definitely that guy. Definitely.
What about Malik Neighbors? What do you think about him?
I haven't been following him too closely, but I know that he's doing okay.
He went off today. Okay, at 127 yards and a tutty.
Well, there you go. No questions needed.
From Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes looked good today. He looked better than Pat Mahomes.
They've been calling him Danny Pennies.
Danny IOU. Let me see. Hold on. There was another good one though. Fantasy. I mean, well, so okay. Chargers running back room. J.K. Dobbins in specific. What are your thoughts? He's been going off. He had 131 yards and one tutty today.
That's baller status.
Huh?
That's baller status. That's nice to see. Who else? Somebody had 100. Was it 18? Somebody had 131 rushing yards, but they fumbled as well. So even
that was Green Aaron Jones. Was that Aaron Jones?
Oh no, Jake. Was it Jacobs?
Oh, Jacobs.
Oh no, maybe you're right. Maybe it was Jones. Yeah,
to go Jones had 151 yards,
but fumble.
Oh, Jacobs had 151 yards,
no touchdown. End up with 11 points.
Yeah, I thought he did have a fumble. It doesn't show a fumble on here. Let me check. Let me see something. Oh yeah, he did have that fumble on the goal line, but he probably would have had if he would have scored that touchdown, he probably would have had 18 points. Well, yeah, because he would have got 6 points, so he'd have had 19 points. Yeah. I can still hear you though, Shawnee. It says you're still here, so you can keep talking. I don't know what happened.
What are you saying?
Though. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't see you, but I can hear you. Hold on. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, just had you hear audio. I'm not sure, man. I don't know,
All I
man.
can
This
hear
game is
music.
crazy. Huh?
All I can hear is your music.
There's no music.
Oh, yes, there is. Now there is. You keep on turning it on and off.
I don't have any music on.
Where is it coming from then?
I don't know. No music, man. Yeah, touchdown, the Bears. Look at that. Khalil Herbert. 8 plays, 49-yard scoring
My
drive.
game. I don't know why with Fubo, my live games are always behind.
Why don't you just log into YouTube? I sent you the password. Then you'll be on point. You'll be right on time, man. Look at that. Look at Caleb Williams felt he had to step it up, man. It was like a little challenge. That's why this game was so good. Because even though no one said anything about a challenge, they knew what was up. They knew why it was scheduled.
Dude, I don't know what's going on because I know I don't have any music playing. I don't have any music apps on my phone, but I'm getting like some beat that's just coming through, and I can't hear you.
It's okay. We might as well just call it anyway. I don't really have anything else to touch on. Plus, this game's pretty good.
I don't know what's going on. I just hear nothing but music.
I don't know. Well, what do you guys think? No one's really coming in with questions right now anyway. You guys leave your questions in the chat. I think that's just a good spot to call it anyway.
Everybody, good luck on your Monday night matchups.
Yeah, who you calling?
Implications for Monday Night Miracles tomorrow with Devontae Smith, Deshaun Robinson. See if Johan Dodson can get it done. A lot of people still have Jalen Hurts to play. If you got IDP, you got a lot of guys on defense to look forward to. Everybody,
who you going for tomorrow?
Hope you had a good Sunday. And we'll talk to you guys about some waiver wire ads and some good bench stashes to help you guys out with some injuries coming up after this week.
Who are you going for tomorrow?
I got to go Philly.
Philly?
I would like to see Atlanta do it, but I just think that Philly's defense gets it done, and I think Smith goes off. It's going to be a big game.
Philly?
I mean, Barkley as well. I mean, it's just Philly's got it, man. They're nasty like the Texans. They're like the Texans of the NFC, you know, just so many mouths to feed, so much talent, bro.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. And then next Thursday, who is it? The Jets and the the Patriots?
We'll have to see. That's a if you want. We'll talk about that more.
Yeah, guys, we'll talk about that on Tuesday. So come with us on Tuesday. Tuesday we'll be doing start sit questions. So get your questions in for who you should start, who you should sit. We'll have the injury updates, you know, like Shani said, we touched on. There was CMC out for a few weeks. So there'll be some big updates we'll have. We'll see what's up with AJ Brown and those other guys that were out this week.
Hopefully Justin will be back with us. He's feeling sick tonight, so that's why he didn't join us. But hopefully we can get Justin back in the mix.
There we go. We'll get the other one in here, and we'll keep it rolling, guys. So get your start set questions, whatever you have. You feel free to put them in the chat now. You know what I mean? If you want to, or even go to the next show and put them in the chat before, and we'll have them uploaded, queued. Or even better, you can go to our Facebook group, Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports. Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports over on Facebook. And then you can talk to us. You can leave your pictures of your teams in there. Talk about your teams. Tell us how you're about to win. What was that?
Any way we can help.
Any way we can help. That's the goal, guys. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, we're not just here to be pretty faces. We want to talk to you guys. We want to interact. You know what I mean? We want to see what your team looks like. We want to hear about your league.
To a championship.
Exactly. Or maybe we're trying to join your league. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm trying to come in there and conquer because I need to conquer something. I haven't been doing so hot in mine. Nah. But, you know, we just do it for the love of the sport, like we always say. So feel free to join join the Facebook group. Also join Shady Sports Network group and page as well on Facebook. Follow that on all the social medias you see down the bottom: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, X, YouTube, all them guys where you go for social media. Look up Shady Sports Network and then look up Fantasy Football Reports on there, and you'll see our pretty faces and hear our dropping them facts, dropping them hot takes, talking about them busting them boomers. So come join us, like I said. But the goal is to get your team. So we want to see your team. Leave it in the chat. And then tell us who you think's going to win tonight. Tonight, who do you think's going to win, Shawnee? I mean, granted, it was 10-13, so it's still pretty close.
Yeah. Enjoy your games. Enjoy your matchups. Hope you guys come out on top, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Like he said. And then, I think Texas is going to win. So, enjoy, guys. But thanks for joining us, as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. Antonio and then Troy Jams. Thank you guys for asking those questions in the chat and all the other guys that wanted to join in with us. Until next time, join us Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be back bringing those questions. Who should you start? Who should you sit? We got you. Till then.
You owe me $10 from the game.
Oh, yeah. We want to talk about that, man. My Broncos lost. That wore me down. I was a little down after that. But, yeah, me and Shawnee had a friendly little wager going, $10. And I thought we were going to come back in the end like we always do. It looked like we're going to do something when it doesn't matter. But it was a game of slop fest, a snooze fest. It took all my energy out.
Hey, we love y'all. Peace.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Join us on Tuesday.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.